From Paul George entering the GOAT chat, courtesy of Brandon Miller, to PG being on par with King James when it comes to dunking skills, this is why Brandon Miller has no idea who the NBA GOAT is. Starting with how the GOAT debate has always been between his airness and King James. But now, we've got this Brandon Miller kid throwing some extra spice into the mix. When this hotshot NBA prospect was asked about the whole GOAT situation, he threw Paul George's name in there of all people as his pick for the greatest of all time. I mean, seriously, he hasn't even won a single NBA title. And as expected, fans are going crazy over his choice. Some are even calling it a red flag, while others are saying his draft stock should plummet for having such a bizarre opinion. Heck, one fan even said George wouldn't even make their top 25 players in the league right now. People are tearing Miller apart in the comments section, questioning his basketball IQ and all. But hey, the boy's got skills on the court. You can't deny that. And rumor has it that the Charlotte Hornets are swooning over him. They might just snatch him up as the second overall pick too. But as far as the GOAT debate goes, there's a hidden motive for his choice. Turns out he might have a little beef with Jordan himself because he called him just a shooter during a pre-draft workout, which is an understatement, honestly. You see, he's got the height and the build, standing tall at 6'9" and weighing 201 pounds, and he's got mad skills in shooting, shot blocking, and athleticism. But he's still young, and for all we know, he might even end up being a clone of Paul George when all's said and done. To be fair though, he has been selected as an all-star on 8 occasions, and has maintained impressive statistical averages of 23.8 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 5.1 assists per game with a shooting accuracy of 45.7%. Not only that, but he's been honored with All-NBA recognition on 6 different occasions. Sure, he hasn't secured a championship yet, but his numbers suggest a promising path toward the Hall of Fame. When it comes to being called the GOAT, not so much, but Miller does have an explanation for it. He explained his opinion by saying he grew up watching him, not LeBron, but he also stressed that he'd never undermine his abilities, accepting him as the best player in the league, but George is still the greatest of all time in his eyes. Despite lacking a resume that can rival the likes of Jordan and James, it wouldn't be surprising to hear his name from his mouth. After all, the Clippers star has often been compared to him in the lead-up to the draft, and both of them are wing players known for their sharp shooting abilities from beyond the arc. He even has similar tools to him, allowing him to make an impact on both ends of the court. Even Kyrie Irving commented on Miller's game, comparing him to Brandon Ingram's natural scoring ability and how he mirrors George's shooting form. Others have done the same, highlighting his similarities to players like George and Kevin Durant. It shouldn't be surprising that he looks up to him, considering their shared attributes. But that still doesn't make fans any less confused. When it comes to the greatest basketball player of all time, the discussion revolves around Michael Jordan and King James, with no wrong answer. Sometimes, younger players introduce more unique names into the mix, such as the late Kobe Bryant or the talented Steph Curry. But NBA draft prospect Miller took an entirely different route, offering a new perspective by declaring Paul George as basketball's greatest of all time. Let's be real here, this opinion is outright ridiculous. Some fans think this comment has knocked him out of the first round, while one fan said that someone is going to draft him in the top 3, but it won't be for their team. The truth is, whether we agree or not, Paul George has now officially entered the chat. Sure, Miller's choice may leave many scratching their heads considering that his choice falls short compared to basketball legends like Michael Jordan and LeBron James, despite being a very talented player with an impressive 14-year career. But while he's achieved lots of success, including 8 All-Star selections, 6 All-NBA teams, and 4 All-Defensive Team selections, he's not on the airness and King James's level. Jordan has an astounding 6 NBA titles with the Chicago Bulls, while LeBron has 4 championships to his name. George, on the other hand, has yet to reach the NBA Finals. Plus, his airness has secured 5 MVPs while LeBron has 4. In comparison, George's most significant individual honor so far is the Most Improved Player award, which he earned in the 2012 to 2013 season. So, in addition to his puzzling comment, Miller surprised many by becoming the 2nd overall pick during the recent NBA draft. But it makes sense because he showcased his skills during his college career with the Crimson Tide, where he averaged 18.8 points and 8.2 rebounds per game. Many basketball fans predict a bright future for him in the NBA, but maybe he shouldn't be the one deciding who's the GOAT. He doesn't have nearly as much basketball experience to decide and probably doesn't even know that King James is considered one of the NBA's best dunkers. That too without stepping foot on a contest floor. That's a testament to the King's incredible legacy. Michael Jordan and Dominique Wilkins had to battle it out on the big stage to earn that title. Now, surely his airness is better than PG, but who's better between him and LeBron? Well, let's compare their dunks to give Miller the benefit of the doubt. For starters, when it comes to brute strength, King James is the master because he's practically perfected dunking. While he may not shatter the glass like the legendary Chocolate Thunder or Shaquille O'Neal pound for pound, he's hard to beat when it comes to abusing the rim. Remember poor Bill Walker? That dunk must have hurt. But when it comes to Paul George, his dunks are pretty impressive. And while the rim bend may not be as pronounced, the sheer strength and body control he has can't be ignored. It's a close call in this case, but when it comes to strength and dunking, King James has him beat. But PG takes the spotlight when it comes to style, and my goodness, his dunk from the top is as stylish as they come. It's pure poetry in motion and something fans don't forget. As far as King James goes, the style points may not be for originality, weirdness, or rim-shattering power. Instead, it's all about how effortless it is for him to dunk on his opponents, as if he'd go for another 180 degrees if he wanted to. Some would even say that it's unfair, but when it comes to style, PG has him beat. Now, let's look at the utility these two players bring. In other words, those factors that make a dunker truly great, because it's all about the ability to dunk in traffic, to go over, through, and around defenders, and to make the most out of challenging situations. It's about creativity and improvisation, which set apart the best NBA dunkers. When it comes to King James, he starts with an alley-oop dunk, which leaves us breathless every time. The combination of incredible athleticism and jumping over another player's head while he's standing up is mind-boggling. Even if it's John Lucas III, I can't deny the greatness of his dunks. But the thing is, PG's dunk over Blake Griffin was also a masterpiece. From the smooth curl to the single dribble gate and the two-handed finish over a guy who knows a thing or two about dunks himself, it's a thing of beauty. But there are no losers between George, LeBron, and MJ. After considering the strength, style, and utility of their dunks, the trophy has to go to King James. His incredible collection of dunks, coupled with his unmatched power and creativity, put him at the top. But let's not take anything away from the spectacular dunks that Paul George has made in his career. And who knows, maybe 2023 is the year he gets his MVP honors. In the meantime, Brandon Miller is still growing and gearing up for the 2023 NBA draft, and all eyes are on him as he's projected to be snatched up as either the second or third overall pick. There's probably a good reason why he's caught Michael Jordan's attention. This is huge, considering he's just starting on a life-changing journey as he transitions to the grand stage of the NBA. But the Hornets also have another exciting prospect in Scoot Henderson. And with both these players in the mix, the team will have quite the decision on their hands. So from PG being on par with King James when it comes to dunking skills, to Paul George entering the GOAT chat, courtesy of Brandon Miller, this was why Brandon Miller has no idea who the NBA GOAT is.